Hello everyone, Ray has prepared a rant for us today. Who is your angry rant towards today?
So Brownells, more specifically their question and answer / like customer service based, which I usually find very positive. Unfortunately, in a fairly recent build of this guy right here, my AR-10B build, but there's the fluted heavy contour barrel, so that's why I built it myself, because you can't really do that unless you buy the brown one, change out the muzzle device and the furniture, and then you have spare furniture. But anyway, so I used to build guns / build my ARs over at my brother's house. He had a friend who lost his home, who had to move in, and it became kind of awkward to try and go over there and build them over there. My dad had his own bench over at his place, so I just started doing it over there because my dad's super cool and I love him. So anyway,
where did it go wrong?
So first, it went really well. I put in a massive order for what was essentially 2 builds, and it came out to be like $1,500. Like 550, 600 of that was all one other build. So at that point, I was at 900 on what is usually like a $1,200 rifle.
Mm-hmm.
So I had saved about $300 nearly. And I had everything: the barrel, the receivers, muzzle device, gas system, all of it. It's going great. Then I tried to put the barrel onto the upper receiver. This did not go well because the wrench that I had for putting on barrel nuts didn't fit. The barrel nut that they have on this goes to this really thin slip ring, and I believe it's actually one of their AR-15 barrel nuts, but for whatever reason, the Magpul, I think it's like a UTG or something, wrench that I had just did not work with it. So I went to their QA section for which it comes as a barrel with the already pre-installed gas block, no muzzle device, and then the barrel nut is already on behind the gas block, so you just pop it in, screw it down with your parts on, and you're good to go, pretty much. Didn't work that way, obviously. So I asked them, what do I do? What part do I need to torque this down, because my wrench isn't working? And they suggest a KAC 308 barrel nut wrench. And it's just something that goes onto the end of a torque wrench. When I got it, this is pre-installed. What I got is a circle. It did not go past the front sight block. Okay, did I miss something here? And being the genius who was really good at those like square peg round hole things as a youth, I was like, this don't work. So I took it into my garage and I cut a chunk out of it with an angle grinder, and that did work. So I was able to slide it on right behind the gas block and put it all the way down. It was too large. It didn't work. It was the wrong part entirely. And
how much did that
that cost me $60.
$60 down the hole, and you cut it yourself, so no returns.
No returns. And I knew what I was getting into once I cut it. I was like, well, I mean, it's got to work. They suggested it's got to work. Maybe they missed a step. I don't know. Which, just so you know, this is pinned with a very large pin that goes in, and then they pinned it on both sides, and then they painted over it. So to try and get this out, you would have to grind it off and then hammer it out with a punch, and then you'd have to get a whole new pin now, put it in, hammer it over, and then repaint it. Keep that in mind.
So what did you end up getting, or what, did you go back to the Q&A?
I went back to the question and answer, and I put in a thing, and at this point, well, before that, I called customer service and I was like, what the hell is going on here? Why did you tell me to buy this? Why doesn't this work? Are you guys incompetent? What's going on here? Did you have like an intern fill this out? Which, I was angry. I tried to be nice angry, but kind of just how it goes.
On the surface, they were like, "Oh yes, you need something for 308. Here's our 308 tool," without really like looking at what you specifically needed.
Exactly. And when I was talking to the woman, she was like, "Oh, well, maybe you can try and return it." And I was like, "Well, I cut it." "Oh, you cut it? Well, maybe return it anyway, and we'll see what we can do." I knew they weren't gonna do anything about it, so like the way she had like said it, it was like, "Well, if you actually did cut out a section of it, then we ain't gonna take it back. But why not go ahead and waste your time returning this so that way we can return it to you later?" And I figured, screw that, skip it. And so I went back to the Q&A, and that's when I put in the whole, "This doesn't work, what the hell is going on here?" Which, there was quite a few expletives in that when I tried to first put it in. Brownells won't let you post it with anything even mildly, like, even if you say the word idiot, or, like, the best you can get with is incompetence. That's about as far as you can go with that. And no response, waited like a week, no response. And then so I put on the big old detective cap. I was like, they sell the barrel nut separate. Let's see if there's a Q&A where somebody asks, what kind of a wrench do I need? So, lo and behold, that was exactly what I did, and it worked out. Somebody had asked, "So what do I need to tighten this down?" And it wasn't the KAC 308 barrel nut wrench, or whatever the hell it's called.
What'd you end up needing?
I just bought their standard Brownell's AR-15 armorer's wrench, which cost like $40 or $50 or something like that. So it was, I think it was a little bit cheaper than the KAC, but it has way more utilities on it. And I'm very happy to have that. If they had told me, "Oh yeah, get that," it would have been like, okay, now I just have 2 armorer's wrenches, and it's whatever. But no, they had to dick me around and waste my time and waste my money, and I had to cut one of their things open, which...
No one made you do that.
They made
No
me
one
do
made
that.
you do that.
They made me do that. It has 4 little prongs, and I went between one of them. It's still fully usable, so
that sounds,
at the future I could
that
use
sounds
it.
like something I would do in a fit of rage. Like, this is gonna work. Big brain moments. I can cut here.
I might have been mad when I first put it on there, and I was like, I'm gonna make it work.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I got that, and it's a little crescent shape, so it just goes right over the side, so you don't have to take off your front sight block.
Would you like to go over the rifle at the very end here?
Sure. Well, do you want to do like a like initial thing, and then we'll just mention this video?
No. I want the people watching to just appreciate the rifle now.
Okay.
This is the effort that went into just putting the barrel nut on. Here is the rifle.
Yes. Which, in the meantime, I threw together my entire lower. That went together without a hitch, so that was nice. So it was just the upper needed all of this bullshit. And so I got that, I tightened down, and then I loosen it, and then I tighten it down, and then I loosen it, and then I tighten it down, because that's how you put it together, and then you just... everything goes together well after that. Put on my nice muzzle device.
Currently, December 2020. Trying to find AR-15 parts, or sorry, AR-10 parts, it's impossible. Aero Precision, they have nothing. Palmetto, they have no completed uppers. And it's like, I'm saying for me, it's like, oh, you know, I already have a lower. I would like to build a like a more DMR setup. I would like a longer barrel. I like that. No, there's nothing. There is nothing.
Which this wasn't like super recent, and that's kind of the point. But I'll get to that.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
So, this was like right at the beginning of the COOF, so things were still available, and it was just like, all right, so since the COOF is happening, I'm just gonna start putting builds together, because a lot of like other guns aren't really available right now. So, I got it all together, and it was done. And at that point, I had lost like $100 and something worth of my own money putting this damn thing together, $60 of which is into a part that I didn't need, but got because of poor instructions. And I was like, all right, that sucked. I'll mention like that, and I'm just gonna be like, okay, sometimes that happens. But no, what initiated this rant video is because about a week ago, Brownells finally replied to the Q&A. And they said, you gotta take off your front. You gotta take off your front sight block, and then it'll slip right on, and then it'll work.
So
Which we know.
Yeah, it would
none
not,
of that is true.
It would not have worked. So you'd put the effort in, grinding it out, punching it out, taking it off, sliding it on. Doesn't work. They have two problems.
Yeah. So the snowball effect that would have created would have pissed me so off that I probably would have just like went down to Brownell's headquarters and then yeeted this through a window and said, "Give me my fucking money."
Yeah. But again, going back to just parts in general, because I recently built my first AR-15. You know, I'm growing up. You know, becoming a man in this world. And
you already are. You own an AK.
And I was trying to just like meme it up. I was thinking like, what would be the cheapest Anderson AR I can put together? Because I know they have so the only part I would cheat on would be the bolt itself, because I already have the bolt carrier group that I can swap out. And I was thinking like, oh, you know, they have $300 uppers. I want to try it out, and I already have like another lower that's just a strip lower I can make with Anderson parts and just go from there. They have nothing available. I'm saying like nothing. Like for AR-15, AR-10, I have seen stuff for AR-9 online, like for direct blowback, nothing fancy stuff that's available, marked up in price. But right now, AR-15, nothing. If you're trying to build your own right now, not a lot of options.
And that's just kind of how it is right now. And I have plenty of builds that I'd like to do. Brownells, I still like your stuff. And this isn't I hate Brownells. It's you guys need to find out who the person who is in charge of that question and answer section and fire them, send them back to the mailroom where they belong, because they should not have any business telling people what products to buy for servicing their firearms in your company, because this is ridiculous. If I didn't have like even a slight amount of wherewithal, if I didn't have the gumption to just cut that thing, I would have been waiting until now to get a wrong answer. And that is what infuriates me more, is that people who didn't know better would have gone through that. And I had a shitty situation that would have turned into a like one big pile of shit situation.
Yeah.
And other people might be going through that. Other people are looking at that question and answer thing and thinking, oh, this is the correct way to do this. Somebody is looking at that, and hopefully they're like, this guy's saying that's the wrong part. Maybe I shouldn't buy this. Maybe I should look into that. But other people are just like, oh, well, if that's what Brownell suggests, that's what they suggest. That's got to be the right part. And that is what irritates me. And I hope that they go through and they fix that question and answer section. Maybe put an asterisk, like, no, this part won't work, something like that. Maybe change it up so that way it's the Brownell's armorer's wrench or something. I don't know.
And this has been Ray's Rant.
So
thank you guys for watching. If you're currently trying to build your own ARs, options suck. So I would not recommend doing that. When to do that, I'm not sure. Same thing with ammo. Ammo's been crazy as well. But there's still options out there. That's what I'm getting at. Like, if you're looking at extremes of the market, like all the good middle ground stuff, that's kind of gone. If you want the cheapest of the cheap barrels, that's available. If you want
an Anderson upper, that's available.
No, I'm saying
if you want a Geisley upper,
I'm saying the cheapest of the cheap, like barrels, I still see available like at any length. If you want the highest of the high end barrels, you want some carbon fiber barrels, those are still available. You know,
carbon fiber with like depleted uranium.
Yeah. If you want those for like, you know, $600-700 a barrel, you know, that can be yours.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I was looking at one. I was like, just because it was the only thing in stock. It was like I was looking at, you know, as one does. You know, you filter from lowest to highest. It was like $100 barrel, $110 barrel, $115 barrel. Anything over $150, $140, $150 was gone until you got to like the $500 price point. And then some stuff was more available at lengths I wasn't really looking forward to owning. And then it was like some carbon fiber stuff. I'm like, that's cool. Not really for me, but you know, for someone out there.
I cannot imagine spending like $500+ on a barrel alone. Like that's usually like half to most of the entire uppers like parts for me.
Yes.
Like, this thing, the upper parts were like, I think around like the $700 range. Or no, like,
Yes.
it's about 600. The lower was fairly cheap. But we'll do a full like review into this in another episode. This is just going to be the rant and the shit sucks right now.
And if you made it this far in the video, I do plan on building a cheap AR when parts are more available. The only part again I'll cheap on is bulk carrier because I can't like.
Honestly, I think that you should not cheap on the bolt carrier.
I know. I'm saying I just
that is the heart and soul.
I already have other bulk carriers. Even if I just have like from a built Palmetto, I ordered the upper. I can just switch that out. Or if I have the nicer nickel boron bulk carrier group, I can swap that out. But like the upper itself will be cheap. It'll be like a $350 upper from like Anderson whenever that's available. And
Anderson torture test. We fired 5 rounds of steel case, and then we died.
No, I was like, I just want to see accuracy because if I get like a cheap 20-inch barrel, like how bad could it possibly be? Is all I'm trying to get at. That's what I'm trying to see. Again, at realistic ranges, you know, like we can do it at 100. And if we go to a range local to us, we go to the farm, we can stretch it out a little bit farther. But it'd be like us shooting at soda cans and stuff like that. We don't really have a nice range set up there.
I mean, if the average male is about 6 feet tall and a soda can is about 4 inches, that's like shooting at a dude who's like 800 meters away, right? All right. So, thank you very much for watching. Brownells, don't hate you, but fix your shit. And all of our subscribers, thank you very much for being here. All of our viewers, thank you very much for coming on by.
And as always, thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate it. Thank you.